And the new generation of the mixed martial arts. I know that I'm gonna take his lads out in the first round.
It's the pressure fight. Oh, right hand, he hurt him. I mean, Ilia's face is just destroyed.
He don't even want submission. He wants to hurt your face. Literally watching Gaethje train one time will make you understand that he is something special. He is something to be respected. I don't care how clean your technique is. If you don't put him away, he is a problem. He's gonna just pound you. He doesn't want to.
Great. What's being reported is that he had 2 broken orbital bones and a broken nose. So both his eyes were broken.
2 weeks after one of the toughest fights in recent memory, Ilia Topuria has finally returned to the public eye. A photo shared by his close friend, Spanish singer Omar Montes, showed the former champion looking far healthier than he did after the fight. According to his management team, Topuria has made an excellent recovery. They confirmed there was no displacement of the orbital bones, meaning surgery wasn't necessary and only 6 to 8 weeks of healing were required. With recovery progressing well, the goal is for Topuria to return to the octagon in December, with early 2027 as a backup plan if needed. One thing is clear, his team wants a rematch with Justin Gaethje and the opportunity to earn redemption. However, making that fight happen may not be as straightforward as it seems.
He's going to try for a rematch?
No, he doesn't get a rematch. He can try, but he doesn't get one.
Wow.
He quit on the stool. He quit twice. I stopped him twice. What else do I have to do? His next challenge can't be me. He needs to fight Patty or someone.
His immediate reaction after beating Ilia Topuria.
Trying to enjoy this moment, and yeah, it was such a crazy ride. We had a lot of delays. A couple of the rehearsal. Again, I wouldn't recommend this to my enemy. We are some of the toughest people on this earth. Those body shots were crazy. I mean, he was really, really fast, but when he didn't get the finish at the end of the second round, I think it really took his spirit. And, again, I said it in the press conference leading up. I was like, he really backed himself into a corner saying he's going to be so dominant. And I said it. When we go to the second round, you're going to be like, what the fuck? When we go to the third round, you're going to be like, what the fuck? And, that's what I did tonight.
Did you feel he was broken after he didn't get that finish?
I never felt he was broken because he was so dangerous at the whole time. But in the third round, when I started landing those jabs, when he started finding his back foot, I knew something was different.
Alex Pereira's first reaction.
Even after the biggest win of his career, Justin Gaethje spoke with respect rather than celebration. He acknowledged that Ilia Topuria remained a dangerous opponent until the very end and explained that the fight truly shifted once Topuria could no longer push him backward. Gaethje also revealed that he had expected this scenario before the fight, believing that if he could survive the early pressure, the momentum would eventually swing in his favor. Looking back, that's exactly how the contest unfolded. According to Joe Rogan, however, one critical moment during the fight nearly changed the entire outcome.
Brother did the right thing and stopped the fight. I didn't hear what he said until I understood the language where he was like, he said it a certain way, and the third time I heard it, I was like,
we're going to finish the fight.
We're going to finish the fight. And he was talking to the ref. He wasn't talking to Ilia. So I took it as Ilia was like, dude, I can't go on. And when you hear that from your athlete, you have to make that right choice. I'm like, do we take more damage or do we go on? So look at me.
Nothing left.
Okay, it's over. It's over. Stop it.
Yeah.
I'm always there to protect my athletes, and it's very nice to be able to work with people that have the same goals as me. My goals is I'm never going to be a champion. I'm a championship coach, but I'm not a champion. And being able to work with people that want to chase things like that, I get so much joy out of it. Seeing the concern in his brother's eye and the way his brother was pulling the hood off, like, bro, don't be embarrassed. You fought your ass off. Like, that is special. That is like, everybody's making fun of like the way he was putting a hood over his head. When you're down, you're down. And, again, to be at the level that he is at took the most courage to get to that point. And what he's done to the guys prior to us. His brother was telling him, pull that off, dude. Like, don't be down. We lost. And when you lose a round doesn't mean you lose a fight. When you win, when you lose a fight doesn't mean you lose your opportunity for it.
Trevor Whitman's comments offered a very different perspective on the emotional scenes that followed the fight. While many people focused on Topuria's disappointment, the hood over his face, and his visible frustration, Trevor saw a team looking after one of their own. He viewed the coach's decisions as putting the fighter's long-term future ahead of a single result. More importantly, he believed Topuria had nothing to be ashamed of, because one defeat does not erase everything a champion has accomplished. Justin Gaethje understands that reality better than most, having rebuilt his career after difficult losses. According to Trevor, the mindset that made those comebacks possible was developed long before MMA. It was forged during years of wrestling.
Said going into this fight, Justin, that was so unique was I've already lost. I've already put myself in the worst scenario. Fear is a great thing, and understanding that the worst case scenario, when you put yourself in that scenario, and what that does is that causes you not to hesitate, and you have such a unique mindset to that. Where did that come from? Where did your mindset come from?
Definitely all came from wrestling. You know, I wrestled so many matches, and you know, where I was mentally was a big factor and a big variable when it came to my ability to compete. So just understanding that I, you know, had control, and really just keeping it so simple, keeping it as simple as possible, not confusing things, not overinflating things, and just.
Joe Rogan's analysis highlighted just how competitive the fight really was. Early in the second round, Ilia Topuria appeared only moments away from finishing Justin Gaethje. His relentless body attacks and constant pressure had many believing the fight was about to end. But championship-level bouts are often decided by who can survive the toughest moments. Gaethje absorbed punishment that would have stopped most fighters and continued to fight back. By the final rounds, Topuria had also taken significant damage, showing just how demanding the contest had been for both men. Despite that, Kamaru Usman believes the biggest takeaway from the fight is something many fans have overlooked. His perspective stands out because it isn't focused on technique, tactics, or rankings. Instead, it's about personal growth. In his view, nearly every legendary fighter reaches a defining moment that reshapes their career. Sometimes it's winning a championship, while other times it's suffering a painful defeat that forces them to improve. MMA history is filled with champions who came back even stronger after experiencing their first major setback. That's why many people within the sport aren't counting Ilia Topuria out after a single loss. Even so, not everyone believes his path back to the top will be an easy one.
So good. And he had him in sick trouble in that second round. I watched it again yesterday. The second round was brutal. I mean, Ilia was just destroying his liver. But even in the second round, Justin, he still bloodied Ilia up. His face was busted up. Like, he was getting the most damage to Ilia's face. And that was a giant factor in the fight, because everybody who he's fought has said he's one of the hardest guys that's ever hit them, including Khabib, who's, you know, one of the all-time greats. What's being reported is that he had 2 broken orbital bones and a broken nose. So both his eyes were broken and his nose was broken. And Justin was here a couple days later and he looked great. But sometimes a loss is like one of the most important things a fighter can ever have, because they realize, like, you can be beat. You can't just throw caution to the wind sometimes and just engage in these wild scraps. You have to be a little bit more tactical. You got to realize, like, you can't take everybody out. And that's the case with Justin. He couldn't take him out. He almost did in the second round. Got real.
Missing from what we do is the spiritual aspect of this. I think Ilia I don't think it was a mistake. Ilia did everything he needed to do to learn the lessons he needed to learn. Now, if that makes him the best ever, that's hopefully we'll see what that happens. It's already written. In order for you to learn that about yourself, you needed to go through something like this. And so he did exactly what he needed to do. For Justin to make a statement like that, he needed to go through the 1-second knockout by Matt. He needed to go through being subbed by Khabib. He needed to feel all of those things to have the greatness.
Michael Bisping believes Ilia Topuria remains one of the sport's elite fighters. But he also warns that a first defeat can take away the sense of invincibility every champion relies on. In his view, the greatest challenge isn't recovering physically, it's rebuilding confidence. However, not everyone sees the loss as a long-term setback. One analyst,
the same fighter. He's undefeated. He got beaten badly. He pushed Justin Gaethje. He let his emotions get in the way a little bit. However, when you lose a fight like that, you know, you've been beaten. Like Prince Nazim Hamed. I mean, he was destroying everyone and he lost one fight. And he was never the same again, right?
Yeah.
Now you know you can be beaten. There's that doubt in that. Who knows? Maybe he comes back and he's a better version of it.
believes Topuria's future approach is the right one, arguing that if he fights with more patience, learns from the first matchup, and avoids rushing into exchanges, he has a strong chance of winning a rematch. According to that view, Topuria was considered the favorite for good reason, and with the right adjustments, the outcome could be very different next time.